Alex was a brave astronaut. He had trained for years to explore the unknown. Today was special because he was landing on a new planet. His spaceship, the Star Voyager, glided down through the bright blue sky. The ground below sparkled with colors he had never seen before. As the ship landed softly on the green grass, Alex felt excitement rush through him. He opened the door and stepped out. The air was warm and fresh, filled with sweet scents of strange flowers. Alex looked around and gasped. Everything was beautiful. The trees were tall and had leaves like colorful feathers. The flowers danced in the gentle breeze, and little creatures flitted about, their wings shining like jewels in the sun. With every step he took, Alex felt a thrill of adventure. He was the first human to set foot on this alien world. This is amazing, he thought. He took a deep breath, ready to explore. As he wandered further from his ship, he noticed something moving in the distance. His heart raced with curiosity. Suddenly, a group of alien women appeared. They were unlike anything he had ever seen. Their skin shimmered in shades of blue and green, and their eyes were large and bright. They looked at Alex with wide eyes, full of wonder and surprise. The tallest alien stepped forward. Her name was Zora, the queen of her people. She was graceful, with long hair that flowed like water. Alex smiled and waved, trying to show he was friendly. Zora tilted her head, studying him carefully. She pointed to him and whispered to her friends. They giggled softly, clearly excited. Alex took a step closer. "Hello," he said in a cheerful voice, even though he knew they might not understand him. Zora blinked and stepped back, surprised by the sound of his voice. Alex felt nervous but kept his smile. He knew this was a moment he would never forget. Zora reached out a hand, and Alex hesitated for a moment. But then he took her hand gently. It felt warm and soft. The other alien women gasped, their eyes shining with curiosity. They began to surround him, touching his arms and shoulders, fascinated by his size and strength. Alex couldn't help but chuckle. He was much bigger than them, and they seemed amazed. "Where are you from?" Zora asked, her voice soft and melodic. Though they spoke a different language, Alex could sense her meaning. He pointed to the sky, then to his spaceship and said, "I'm from Earth." The alien women looked at each other, puzzled by the strange word. Zora frowned slightly but continued to smile. She waved her hand and gestured for Alex to follow her. He felt a thrill of excitement as he walked with her and the other aliens. They moved gracefully, almost like they were dancing. They led him to their village, which was filled with strange but beautiful homes made from the plants and materials of the planet. The buildings looked like they grew right from the ground, with colorful flowers hanging from the windows. The village was alive with laughter and chatter, as more aliens gathered to see the human visitor. Alex felt a wave of joy wash over him. He was in a world that was different from his own, and he wanted to learn everything he could. Zora introduced him to the villagers, who clapped and cheered when they saw him. Alex felt shy but happy. He tried to communicate with them using gestures. He pointed to the sky, and then to himself, trying to explain he was an astronaut. The villagers watched closely, their eyes filled with wonder. They pointed to themselves and said words he didn't understand, but their tone was friendly. As they gathered around him, Zara reached for a flower and offered it to Alex. It was bright pink and looked delicate. He took it, smiling. The villagers clapped again, thrilled by the exchange. Alex felt like he was part of something special. Suddenly, one of the alien women, a smaller one with sparkling green skin, tugged at his sleeve. She pointed to her feet and then to Alex. He looked down and realized he was wearing boots, while they were barefoot. He knelt down, took off his boot, and showed them his foot. They giggled again, clearly fascinated. Zara stepped closer and pointed at his boot. She tried to put it on her foot, but stumbled and fell. The crowd burst into laughter. Alex laughed too, feeling more relaxed. He helped Zara up, and they both shared a smile. As the sun began to set, the sky turned orange and pink. Alex felt a warmth in his heart. He had made new friends, and the excitement of this new world filled him with hope. He knew this was just the beginning of his adventure on this strange and wonderful planet. Little did he know, his journey would take unexpected turns, and he would discover more about these amazing aliens and himself than he ever dreamed. The first meeting. Alex felt excited as he stood in the middle of the alien village. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. The villagers, full of energy, surrounded him, eager to learn more about their new human friend. Zara, the alien queen, stood by his side, her bright eyes shining with curiosity. "Welcome to our home," Zara said, her voice soft and welcoming. Alex smiled back, feeling grateful for her kindness. He looked around at the happy faces of the alien women. They all wore colorful clothes made from soft, flowing fabrics that danced around them as they moved. The villagers began to gather more closely. They were curious about Alex and his strange appearance. Some whispered to each other, pointing at his clothes and shoes. Alex chuckled, realizing how different he looked from them. He had never felt like such a spectacle before. Zara took Alex's hand and led him through the village. They passed homes that looked like giant flowers, with petals curling around them. The air was filled with sweet scents and the sounds of laughter. Alex felt a sense of wonder, as if he had stepped into a dream. As they walked, Zora pointed at different things. She showed him a bright blue fruit that looked like a large berry. "Fruza," she said, smiling. Alex nodded and took one. It was juicy and sweet, bursting with flavor. The villagers cheered, excited to see him enjoy their food. After their snack, Zara led Alex to a clearing in the village. In the center stood a large, glowing tree. Its branches stretched high into the sky, and its leaves shimmered in all colors of the rainbow. The villagers gathered around, and Zara looked at Alex with a big smile. "This is our tree of knowledge," Zara explained. "It gives us wisdom and guides our hearts." Alex felt amazed. He had never seen anything like it before. The tree seemed alive, almost breathing with energy. Zara gestured for Alex to touch the tree. He reached out, placing his hand on the smooth bark. As he did, he felt a warm energy flow through him. It was a strange and beautiful feeling. The villagers watched in awe, whispering among themselves. Suddenly, one of the alien women stepped forward. She had bright yellow skin and short hair that sparkled like stars. "Can you tell us about your home?" she asked, her voice eager. Her name was Leela. Alex nodded, feeling happy to share. "I come from a planet called Earth. It is blue and green, with big oceans and tall mountains," he explained. The villagers listened closely, their eyes wide with wonder. "What is an ocean?" Zara asked, tilting her head in curiosity. Alex thought for a moment, then decided to show them. He held out his hands to mimic waves. "It's like a big, endless pool of water. It moves and makes sounds like." He paused and made a whooshing noise, waving his arms. The villagers laughed, trying to imitate his movements. They were fascinated by the idea of an ocean. Zara and Leela exchanged glances, excited by the new knowledge. As the night fell, the stars began to twinkle in the sky. Alex looked up and gasped. The stars shone brighter than he had ever seen before. "Wow, they are beautiful," he exclaimed. The villagers smiled, knowing they had a special view of the night sky. Zora pointed at a cluster of stars. "That is our star guide," she said. "It leads us on journeys." Alex felt a sense of connection to these aliens. They shared stories of their own worlds, just like he did. The villagers then invited Alex to join their evening feast. They sat in a circle around a large table made from the glowing tree's wood. The table was filled with colorful dishes, each more delicious than the last. Alex tried different foods, from sweet fruits to savory dishes made with alien spices. Each bite was an adventure for his taste buds. As they ate, laughter filled the air. Alex felt a warm feeling in his heart. He had never felt so welcomed. He joined in their laughter, sharing stories, and making gestures to explain more about himself. After dinner, Zara stood up and clapped her hands. "Now we celebrate," she announced. The villagers cheered, their eyes shining with excitement. They began to dance around the table, their movements graceful and fluid. Alex watched, amazed by their beauty and energy. Zara took his hand, pulling him into the circle. "Come dance with us," she said, her eyes sparkling. Alex hesitated for a moment, but then joined in, moving to the rhythm of their joyous celebration. As they danced, he felt free and happy. The music of their laughter filled his heart with joy. He realized that he was not just a visitor anymore. He was becoming a part of this magical world. As the night continued, Alex knew he was on the brink of a great adventure. He was ready to learn, to share, and to build a friendship that would last beyond the stars. The bond between him and the aliens was growing stronger, and he couldn't wait to see what the next day would bring. Learning and sharing. The next day, Alex woke up to the sound of soft chirping. He opened his eyes and saw bright sunlight streaming through the petals of his new alien friend's home. He smiled, feeling excited for another day of adventure on this amazing planet. As he stepped outside, he found Zora waiting for him, her eyes sparkling with joy. "Good morning, Alex," she said with a warm smile. "Today, we will learn more about each other." Alex felt a thrill run through him. He was eager to share more about Earth and to discover more about the aliens. Zara led Alex to the village center, where the villagers were already gathering. They were curious and full of energy, ready to hear stories from the human. Zara stood up and raised her hands, signaling for everyone to listen. "Today, Alex will tell us about his home," she announced. The villagers clapped and cheered, their excitement palpable. Alex took a deep breath and stepped forward, feeling a little nervous but also proud. He began, "I come from a planet called Earth. It is very different from here. We have mountains, oceans, and forests." He pointed to the sky, then made gestures like waves crashing on a beach. The aliens watched closely, their eyes wide with interest. "What is a mountain?" Zara asked, tilting her head. Alex thought for a moment, then raised his arms high, mimicking a tall peak. "A mountain is very high. You climb it like this." He pretended to climb, making the villagers laugh. The aliens were fascinated. They had never seen a mountain, and Alex could tell they wanted to know more. He shared stories about his life on Earth, how humans lived in cities, how they farmed, and how they traveled to different places. He described the sounds of the ocean waves and the feel of soft grass underfoot. As he spoke, the villagers asked questions, eager to learn. One alien woman, Leela, raised her hand. "Do you have animals on your planet?" she asked, her eyes shining. Alex smiled and nodded. "Yes, we have many animals, like dogs, cats, and birds. They are our friends." Zara looked curious. "What do they look like?" Alex thought for a moment, and then began to act out a dog wagging its tail, barking happily. The villagers laughed and clapped, enjoying his performance. They had never seen a dog, and Alex realized how different their worlds were. After sharing stories about Earth, it was time for the aliens to teach Alex about their home. Zara led him to a beautiful garden, filled with strange plants and glowing fruits. "This is our garden of wonders," she explained. "Here, we grow our food and learn about nature." Alex was amazed by the vibrant colors and the sweet smells. The plants sparkled in the sunlight, and he could see little creatures buzzing around, pollinating the flowers. "Can I help?" he asked, feeling eager to learn. Zara smiled and handed him a small tool made from shiny metal. "Here, help us gather the fruits," she said. Alex followed her lead, picking the glowing fruits from the trees. Each fruit had a different color and flavor, and he was excited to try them all. As they worked, Zara explained the importance of each plant and how they used them for food and medicine. "Every plant has a purpose," Zara said, her voice filled with pride. "They give us life and strength." Alex listened carefully, feeling grateful for the knowledge she shared. He admired the way the aliens respected nature and used it to live in harmony. After gathering the fruits, they returned to the village, where a large table was set for a feast. The villagers were busy preparing food, and the air smelled delicious. Alex watched in awe as they cooked, using their unique ingredients and skills. Once everything was ready, they sat together at the table. The villagers served a variety of dishes made from the fruits they had gathered. Each dish was colorful and looked like a work of art. Alex was excited to taste everything. As they began to eat, laughter and chatter filled the air. The aliens shared their own stories and experiences, telling Alex about their traditions and celebrations. They spoke of their love for music and dance, and how they celebrated the changing seasons. "During the Festival of Lights, we dance and sing under the stars," Zara explained. "It is our favorite time of year." Alex felt a sense of warmth in his heart. The aliens had a deep connection to their culture, just like humans did. After the feast, Zara invited Alex to join them in a dance. He hesitated for a moment, unsure of his moves, but then he saw the joy on their faces. "Okay, I'll try," he said, laughing. The villagers cheered, encouraging him to join in. They began to dance around the table, moving gracefully to the rhythm of the music. Alex found himself caught up in the fun, forgetting his worries. He twirled and laughed, feeling free and happy. The aliens welcomed him into their circle, and he felt like he belonged. As the sun set and the stars began to twinkle, Alex realized that he was learning so much from these incredible beings. They were not just aliens. They were friends, full of love and laughter. He felt grateful for this unique opportunity to share and learn. That night, as Alex lay down to sleep, he thought about everything he had experienced. He was excited to continue his journey with Zara and the villagers. They had opened his heart and mind, and he knew that this was just the beginning of something wonderful. Friendly challenges. The next morning, Alex woke up feeling excited. Today was going to be special. He had heard whispers among the villagers about friendly challenges, and he was eager to see what they were all about. As he stepped outside, the sun shone bright in the sky, and the sounds of laughter filled the air. Zara was waiting for him, her face beaming with joy. "Good morning, Alex. Are you ready for some fun today?" she asked, bouncing on her feet. Alex smiled back, feeling his heart race with excitement. "Yes. What do you have planned?" he replied. Zara clapped her hands together. "Today, we will have a series of friendly challenges. You will compete with us to see who is stronger and faster." The idea thrilled Alex. He loved to play games, especially when it meant getting to know his new friends better. The villagers gathered in the village center, their eyes filled with excitement. They formed a circle around Zara and Alex, eager to watch the challenges unfold. Zara explained the first challenge, a strength test. "Let's see how strong you are, Alex," she said, leading him to a large rock. It was enormous, covered in colorful plants. Zara stood beside him, her eyes sparkling. "You must lift this rock above your head." Alex took a deep breath and approached the rock. He crouched down, wrapped his arms around it, and heaved with all his strength. The villagers cheered as he lifted it off the ground. "Yes, I did it," he shouted, feeling proud. He held the rock high, grinning widely. But Zara wasn't finished. "Now it's my turn," she said with a determined look. She stepped up to the rock and focused. With a mighty effort, she lifted it just as easily as Alex had. The villagers cheered louder, impressed by their queen's strength. Okay, you win this round." Alex laughed, playfully raising his hands in surrender. The villagers clapped and shouted, enjoying the friendly competition. Next, Zura announced the second challenge, a race. "Let's see who can run the fastest," she said, pointing to a line marked with bright flowers. Alex felt a rush of excitement. He loved to run. The villagers gathered at the starting line, their faces filled with anticipation. "On your marks, get set, go," Zora shouted, and they were off. Alex took off running, his feet pounding against the ground. The aliens moved swiftly, their feet barely touching the ground. Zara was right beside him, her laughter ringing in his ears. The race was close, but Alex pushed himself to run faster. As they raced through the village, the colorful houses and flowers whizzed by. The villagers cheered and clapped, encouraging both Alex and Zara. Alex felt alive, the wind in his hair and his heart racing with excitement. In the end, it was a tie. They crossed the finish line together, both panting and laughing. The villagers erupted in cheers, celebrating the spirit of friendly competition. "That was amazing," Alex said, still catching his breath. Zara smiled, wiping the sweat from her brow. "You are fast, Alex, but we have one more challenge to go." The final challenge was a teamwork task. Zara suggested they build something together using materials from the forest. The villagers gathered branches, leaves, and colorful flowers, excited to see what they could create. Alex and Zara worked side by side, laughing and sharing ideas. Alex suggested making a small shelter, while Zara thought they should add a decoration made of flowers. "Let's make it beautiful," she said, her eyes sparkling with inspiration. As they built, the villagers helped, bringing more materials and cheering them on. They worked together, combining their ideas and skills. Alex felt a sense of joy and belonging as he laughed and joked with his new friends. After a while, they stepped back to admire their work. The shelter stood tall, decorated with bright flowers and leaves that shimmered in the sunlight. The villagers clapped and cheered, proud of their creation. "This is wonderful," Alex exclaimed, feeling a warm glow in his heart. Zara smiled, her eyes shining with happiness. "We did it together. This is what teamwork means." As they sat together under the shelter, the villagers shared stories about their own challenges. They spoke of their traditions, where they worked together to overcome difficulties. Alex listened intently, feeling honored to be a part of this special moment. That evening, as the sun began to set, the villagers gathered around a fire. They celebrated their day of challenges, singing songs and telling stories. Alex felt grateful for the friendships he had formed and the lessons he had learned. Zara sat beside him, her eyes reflecting the flames. "You are a part of our family now, Alex," she said softly. Alex smiled, his heart swelling with happiness. He had come to this alien world as a stranger, but now he felt like he belonged. As the stars twinkled above, Alex realized that this was more than just a journey. It was about connection, friendship, and shared experiences. He had learned about strength, speed, and teamwork, but most importantly, he had discovered the joy of sharing moments with others. The challenges had brought them closer, and he couldn't wait for more adventures with his new friends. Together, they would explore this magical world and create memories that would last a lifetime. They formed a circle around Zara and Alex, eager to watch the challenges unfold. Zara explained the first challenge, a strength test. "Let's see how strong you are, Alex," she said, leading him to a large rock. It was enormous, covered in colorful plants. Zara stood beside him, her eyes sparkling. "You must lift this rock above your head." Alex took a deep breath and approached the rock. He crouched down, wrapped his arms around it, and heaved with all his strength. The villagers cheered as he lifted it off the ground. "Yes, I did it," he shouted, feeling proud. He held the rock high, grinning widely. But Zara wasn't finished. "Now it's my turn," she said with a determined look. She stepped up to the rock and focused. With a mighty effort, she lifted it just as easily as Alex had. The villagers cheered louder, impressed by their queen's strength. Okay, okay, you win this round. Alex laughed, playfully raising his hands in surrender. The villagers clapped and shouted, enjoying the friendly competition. Next, Zara announced the second challenge, a race. Let's see who can run the fastest, she said, pointing to a line marked with bright flowers. Alex felt a rush of excitement. He loved to run. The villagers gathered at the starting line, their faces filled with anticipation. On your marks, get set, go, Zora shouted, and they were off. Alex took off running, his feet pounding against the ground. The aliens moved swiftly, their feet barely touching the ground. Zara was right beside him, her laughter ringing in his ears. The race was close, but Alex pushed himself to run faster. As they raced through the village, the colorful houses and flowers whizzed by. The villagers cheered and clapped, encouraging both Alex and Zara. Alex felt alive, the wind in his hair and his heart racing with excitement. In the end, it was a tie. They crossed the finish line together, both panting and laughing. The villagers erupted in cheers, celebrating the spirit of friendly competition. That was amazing, Alex said, still catching his breath. Zara smiled, wiping the sweat from her brow. You are fast, Alex, but we have one more challenge to go. The final challenge was a teamwork task. Zara suggested they build something together using materials from the forest. The villagers gathered branches, leaves, and colorful flowers, excited to see what they could create. Alex and Zara worked side by side, laughing and sharing ideas. Alex suggested making a small shelter, while Zara thought they should add a decoration made of flowers. Let's make it beautiful, she said, her eyes sparkling with inspiration. As they built, the villagers helped, bringing more materials and cheering them on. They worked together, combining their ideas and skills. Alex felt a sense of joy and belonging as he laughed and joked with his new friends. After a while, they stepped back to admire their work. The shelter stood tall, decorated with bright flowers and leaves that shimmered in the sunlight. The villagers clapped and cheered, proud of their creation. This is wonderful, Alex exclaimed, feeling a warm glow in his heart. Zara smiled, her eyes shining with happiness. We did it together. This is what teamwork means. As they sat together under the shelter, the villagers shared stories about their own challenges. They spoke of their traditions, where they worked together to overcome difficulties. Alex listened intently, feeling honored to be a part of this special moment. That evening, as the sun began to set, the villagers gathered around a fire. They celebrated their day of challenges, singing songs and telling stories. Alex felt grateful for the friendships he had formed and the lessons he had learned. Zara sat beside him, her eyes reflecting the flames. You are a part of our family now, Alex, she said softly. Alex smiled, his heart swelling with happiness. He had come to this alien world as a stranger, but now he felt like he belonged. As the stars twinkled above, Alex realized that this was more than just a journey. It was about connection, friendship, and shared experiences. He had learned about strength, speed, and teamwork, but most importantly, he had discovered the joy of sharing moments with others. The challenges had brought them closer, and he couldn't wait for more adventures with his new friends. Together, they would explore this magical world and create memories that would last a lifetime. Building connections. The sun rose brightly the next morning, casting golden rays across the alien village. Alex woke up feeling refreshed and eager for another day with his new friends. He stepped outside to find Zara waiting for him, her smile wide and welcoming. Good morning, Alex. Are you ready for another adventure? She asked, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Alex nodded enthusiastically. Absolutely. What do you have planned for today? Zara clapped her hands together. Today, we will explore the nearby forest and learn more about our world. You will see where we gather food and what makes our planet special. Alex felt a rush of excitement. He loved exploring, especially with Zara and the villagers by his side. As they set off, the villagers joined them, their laughter filling the air. They walked along a winding path lined with bright flowers and tall trees. Alex admired the beauty of the alien world, feeling grateful for the chance to experience. When they reached the edge of the forest, Zora paused. "This is our gathering place," she explained. "Here we find food, herbs, and materials for our homes." Alex looked around, noticing the vibrant plants and unique sounds of the forest. Zora pointed to a bush filled with glowing berries. "These are our favorite. They are sweet and give us energy." Alex picked one and tasted it. It was delicious, bursting with flavor. "Wow, this is amazing," he exclaimed, and the villagers cheered, happy to share their food with him. As they continued deeper into the forest, Zora showed Alex different plants and their uses. She explained how they made medicine from the leaves and how they cooked with the roots. Alex listened carefully, impressed by their knowledge of nature. "Can I help?" Alex asked, eager to join in. Zora smiled and handed him a small basket. "Of course, gather as many berries as you can, and I will show you how to make a special drink." Alex felt thrilled as he picked the glowing berries, filling the basket quickly. After they gathered enough berries, they returned to the village. The villagers were buzzing with excitement as they prepared to make the special drink. Zora led the way to the village center, where a large pot sat over a fire. "Now we will make our berry brew," Zora announced. The villagers clapped their hands, eager to see the process. They began to wash the berries and crush them with their hands. Alex joined in, feeling the cool juice run through his fingers. "Mix them with water and some herbs," Zora instructed. Together, they stirred the pot, and soon a sweet aroma filled the air. Alex couldn't wait to taste the drink. As they worked, the villagers shared stories about their lives and traditions. One of the villagers, a woman named Mira, spoke up. "We drink this brew during our celebrations. It brings us happiness and connection," she said, her eyes shining with pride. Alex felt touched by her words, understanding the importance of traditions. Once the drink was ready, the villagers poured it into colorful cups made from leaves. They gathered around Alex, excited for him to taste their creation. "Cheers," they said in unison, raising their cups high. Alex took a sip and smiled widely. The berry brew was sweet and refreshing, just like the atmosphere around him. "This is incredible. You all are such great cooks," he praised, and the villagers cheered again, delighted by his compliment. After the refreshing drink, Zora had another idea. "Let's play a game to strengthen our bonds. It's called the Circle of Trust." The villagers gathered in a circle, their faces eager and curious. Alex felt a thrill of anticipation. Zora explained the rules. "We will pass a glowing ball around the circle. When you have it, share something about yourself. It can be a secret, a dream, or a story." Alex felt nervous but also excited. This was a chance to connect with his new friends on a deeper level. The game began, and Zara started by sharing a story about her childhood. She spoke of adventures in the forest, climbing trees, and playing with her friends. The villagers listened intently, their faces filled with joy. As the glowing ball passed to Alex, he took a deep breath. "I grew up in a big city on Earth," he began. "I dreamed of being an astronaut. I wanted to explore space and meet new friends." He felt vulnerable sharing his dream, but he was met with smiles and nods of understanding. The ball continued to move around the circle, and each villager shared their own stories. Leela talked about her love for music and how she played the flute made from a special plant. Mira shared her dreams of exploring the ocean. Each story brought laughter and warmth to the circle. As the game continued, Alex felt a deep connection growing between them. They were not just sharing stories. They were building friendships that crossed the boundaries of their different worlds. Finally, the ball returned to Zora. "This was wonderful. We have built stronger connections today," she said, her voice filled with happiness. Alex agreed wholeheartedly. He felt grateful for the opportunity to learn and share with his new friends. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the village, Alex realized how far he had come since landing on this planet. He had formed friendships, shared laughter, and learned about a culture so different from his own. That evening, as they gathered around a fire once more, the villagers began to sing songs. The melodies were beautiful, echoing through the night. Alex joined in, feeling the warmth of their community surrounding him. As the stars twinkled above, Alex understood that he had found a place where he truly belonged. He was no longer just a visitor. He was a part of their family. Together, they would continue to build connections, creating memories that would last a lifetime. Danger approaches. The next morning, the village woke to a calm and peaceful atmosphere. Birds chirped happily, and the sun bathed the world in golden light. Alex felt a sense of comfort among his new friends. However, a feeling of unease stirred in the air, something he couldn't quite place. As the villagers gathered for breakfast, Zora noticed that some of the older villagers were whispering among themselves. Their expressions were serious, and Alex could sense a change in the mood. He turned to Zora. "What's wrong? Why do they look so worried?" Zora's smile faded slightly. "There have been rumors of danger nearby. Some creatures have been spotted near the edge of the forest. They are not friendly, and we must be careful," she replied. Alex's heart raced. He had faced challenges before, but this was different. He felt a mixture of fear and concern for his friends. After breakfast, Zora called the villagers together. "We need to stay alert and protect our home," she announced. "We must gather more supplies and strengthen our defenses." The villagers nodded, their faces filled with determination. Alex joined them as they worked. They gathered branches, stones, and any materials they could find to create barriers around the village. The atmosphere was tense, but everyone worked together, determined to keep their home safe. Alex admired their spirit and resilience. As they built, Zara shared stories about the creatures they feared. "They are called the shadow beasts. They are fast and strong, and they usually hunt at night," she explained. Alex listened closely, imagining the danger lurking in the shadows. "We must be careful and protect each other." Later that day, as the sun began to set, the villagers gathered for a meeting. They sat in a circle, discussing their plan. Alex felt a sense of responsibility. He wanted to help protect his new friends, so he spoke up. "I may be from a different planet, but I can help. I've learned about strategies from Earth. We can set up watches at night." Zara nodded, appreciating his suggestion. "That is a great idea, Alex. We can take turns keeping watch to ensure everyone is safe." The villagers agreed, feeling a renewed sense of hope. Together, they created a plan to keep their village secure. As darkness fell, the villagers lit torches around the perimeter. The flickering flames cast long shadows, creating a barrier of light against the approaching night. Alex took his place on watch, sitting beside Zora. The cool night air was filled with sounds of the forest, but there was an unsettling silence that made Alex's heart race. "I hope we are ready for whatever comes," he said quietly to Zora. She looked at him with calm determination. "We are stronger together, Alex. We will face this danger as one." Her words gave him courage. Hours passed, and the night deepened. Alex scanned the trees, his senses heightened. He felt the weight of the night pressing down on him, and he couldn't shake the feeling that something was lurking just beyond the light. Zara stayed close, her eyes sharp and watchful. Suddenly, a rustling sound echoed through the trees. Alex's heart jumped in his chest. He turned to Zara, his eyes wide. "Did you hear that?" he whispered. Zara nodded, her expression serious. "Stay alert." The rustling grew louder, and shadows moved between the trees. Alex's breath caught in his throat as he saw two glowing eyes watching them from the darkness. They were unlike anything he had ever seen, large and fierce, with a menacing presence. He could feel the tension in the air as the villagers, sensing the danger, gathered closer together. Zara raised her torch, illuminating the area. The eyes disappeared into the shadows, but the rustling continued. "We need to stay strong," Zara said firmly, her voice steady. "Do not let fear take hold." As the sounds grew closer, the villagers formed a protective circle around Alex and Zara. They held their torches high, ready to face whatever was coming. Alex felt a mix of fear and adrenaline coursing through him. He had come to this alien world to explore and make friends, but now he was standing at the brink of danger. The rustling stopped, and a deep growl echoed through the forest. Alex's heart raced. He knew they were not alone. Suddenly, a creature burst from the trees, charging toward them. It was a shadow beast, its dark fur blending perfectly with the night. Its teeth gleamed in the torchlight, and its eyes glowed with a fierce hunger. The villagers shouted in alarm, raising their torches high. Zara stood firm, her eyes locked on the beast. "Stand together," she commanded, and the villagers rallied around her. They formed a united front, ready to protect their home. The beast hesitated, growling as it assessed the situation. Alex felt a rush of fear, but he also felt a surge of bravery. "We can scare it away," he shouted, raising his own torch. The villagers echoed his sentiment, shouting and waving their torches to create a barrier of light. The shadow beast growled louder, its eyes flickering with uncertainty. It seemed to hesitate, unsure whether to attack. Alex felt a sense of power in their unity. They were all standing together, ready to fight for their home. With one final roar, the beast turned and retreated into the darkness, disappearing back into the shadows. The villagers erupted in cheers, their voices echoing through the night. "We did it," Alex shouted, feeling a rush of adrenaline and relief. Zara turned to him, her eyes shining with pride. "You were brave, Alex. We stood together and faced our fears." Alex smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment. He had helped protect his new friends, and in that moment, he knew he truly belonged. As the night wore on, the villagers took turns keeping watch, their spirits lifted by their victory. They had faced danger together, and they would continue to protect each other. Alex felt a deep bond forming with them, one that would only grow stronger as they faced the challenges ahead. A new home. The sun rose brightly over the village, casting a warm glow across the landscape. Alex woke up feeling different this morning. The events of the previous night still lingered in his mind, but there was a sense of calm in the air. The villagers had faced danger together, and they had come out stronger. As Alex stepped outside, he was greeted by the sounds of laughter and chatter. The villagers were busy repairing the fences they had built and gathering supplies. Zara approached him with a bright smile. "Good morning, Alex. We are so happy to see you today. The village feels safer now." Alex returned her smile, feeling a sense of belonging. "I'm glad I could help. It feels good to stand with you all." They walked together to the village center, where the villagers were sharing stories of bravery from the night before. "Everyone did such an amazing job," Zora exclaimed, her eyes shining with pride. "We worked together to protect our home, and we proved that we are strong as a family." The villagers cheered, and Alex felt warmth in his heart. After breakfast, Zara gathered everyone for a meeting. "Today, we will celebrate our victory," she announced. "We will have a festival to honor our bravery and unity." The villagers cheered again, their faces filled with excitement. As the villagers prepared for the festival, Alex offered to help. "What can I do?" he asked eagerly. Zara smiled. "You can help me gather decorations and prepare food. We want this celebration to be special." They spent the day collecting bright flowers, leaves, and fruits from the forest. The villagers laughed and sang songs as they worked, their spirits high. Alex felt joyful, surrounded by friends who had become like family. Later, they returned to the village center, where they began to decorate. They hung flowers from the trees and placed colorful fruits on tables. The atmosphere was filled with excitement and joy. Alex couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in what they were creating together. As the sun began to set, the village was transformed into a beautiful celebration space. Zara stood up, raising her hands to gather everyone's attention. Tonight, we will share our stories, dance, and celebrate our new home. The villagers cheered, their energy contagious. The festival began with music. Villagers played flutes and drums made from special plants. The melodies filled the air, and soon everyone was dancing. Alex joined in, feeling free and joyful. He laughed as he moved with the villagers, enjoying their vibrant energy. After dancing, it was time to share stories. One by one, the villagers stood up to tell tales of their lives, their dreams, and the courage they had shown. Alex listened closely, feeling grateful for their openness and friendship. When it was his turn, Alex stood up, a little nervous but determined. "I want to thank you all for accepting me into your family," he began. "Back on Earth, I dreamed of exploring new worlds, and now I have found a home here with you." The villagers listened intently, their faces filled with warmth. "You have brought us strength, Alex," Zara said, her voice filled with sincerity. "You are one of us now." The crowd erupted in cheers, and Alex felt a wave of happiness wash over him. As the night went on, they shared more laughter, songs, and delicious food. The berry brew flowed freely, and everyone enjoyed the sweet taste of victory and friendship. Alex felt a deep connection with the villagers, realizing that he had truly found a new home. As the stars twinkled above, the villagers gathered around a large fire. Zara began to sing a beautiful song, her voice echoing through the night. The villagers joined in, their voices creating a harmonious melody that filled the air. Alex listened, feeling a sense of peace and belonging. After the song, Zara turned to Alex. "Do you want to learn a dance from our culture?" she asked, her eyes sparkling. Alex nodded eagerly. "Yes, I would love to." Zara showed him the steps, and soon they were dancing together, laughter ringing out as they moved to the rhythm of the music. The villagers cheered them on, encouraging Alex as he learned the dance. As the night wore on, Alex felt a sense of happiness and contentment he had never experienced before. He had faced danger, shared stories, and now celebrated with his friends. They had welcomed him into their lives, and he felt like he truly belonged. As the festival began to wind down, the villagers gathered for one last moment of unity. They held hands and formed a circle around the fire. Zora looked at each of them, her expression serious but filled with love. "Tonight, we celebrate our strength and our home. We are not just a village. We are a family." The villagers nodded, their faces glowing in the firelight. Alex felt tears of joy in his eyes. This was more than he had ever hoped for. He had found a place where he belonged, surrounded by people who cared for him. As the fire crackled and the stars shone brightly above, Alex knew that this was his new home. Together with the villagers, he would face whatever challenges lay ahead. They would continue to grow stronger, building a future filled with friendship, love, and adventure.